Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream as always. So yeah, I've been mentioning a couple of times on the stream that I have this internal goal of getting a build of the game like in a really good spot by the end of the week, and it is now Thursday, so I think that's doable. I mean, I just have a couple of things that I want to finish up here, so I definitely want to finish the tutorial. Last night I was up quite late fixing some issues with the save system, but we don't necessarily need to go into that. So I need to finish some things with the tutorial here, and then also just need to clear out this to-do list. So I think all this stuff is doable by the end of tomorrow. So we will see. But before we get into all of that, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wish listing. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can use alchemy to create your own builds and synergies. So if that sounds good to you, please consider wish listing. You could also support the game financially on Patreon. I'm basically living on a shoestring budget here. I'm making my income from the Udemy courses and from the Patreon donations and a couple of other places. So every little bit helps if you're interested in supporting. But you also get a couple of nice perks for supporting on Patreon. For example, at the top tier here, if you subscribe for at least 1 month, you will get an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, and your name will be included in the Alchemortis credits. So that is an option available to you if you want to support the game financially, but you could also support me by purchasing one of the courses. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. So if you're like, hey, I want to support this Firebelly guy, but I also want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine, this is a perfect way to do that. So anyway, all those things are linked below, and of course the Discord is absolutely free to join, so join the Discord if you're interested. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow on Twitch, all that good stuff. All right, anyway, those ads are a little bit, I mean, I have to do it, I have to let people know about them, but I kind of wish I didn't have to do it every morning. Oh well, it's okay. Hello Clickertail, welcome. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome. Chris, good to see you. TK, welcome back. Nathan, hello. Good morning to both of you. Good morning to all of you. Alrighty, so the tutorial guide. So we're missing a couple of states in here. So just as a recap, I changed the tutorial system. Now there's a list of ordered states. Every tutorial state has an enter condition, or it has an enter function, so the state function, it's got an entry condition, it's got a completion condition, and optionally an exit condition. So the way that it works is, when various game events happen, I will iterate over the list of ordered states. I find the first ordered state where the entry condition matches and where it has not been completed already. And then once that state is in there, it checks the completion condition as well and will mark it as complete. If an exit condition is present, that's basically the failure condition. So that's basically, the exit condition basically defines a situation where the tutorial text, the tutorial guide should go away, but the state should not be marked as complete. So in the case of like alchemy, for example, I may bring up the inventory, and that's the condition for showing the alchemy tooltip, and then the little skull guy pops in and he says, hey, here's where you can do your alchemy, try it now. Well, if I close my inventory again without doing the alchemy, I want that tooltip to be dismissed, but I want it to come back when you open the inventory again. Do you know what I mean? So that's what the exit condition is for. The exit condition is basically just a way of saying this: we need to leave this state, but we don't want to mark it as complete. And so I've just been defining all these states in here. And the other nice thing about this too is that this does not require like a whole chain of states to be related to each other. So for instance, I could go into a game and I could complete like numbers 1 and 4 or 5 or whatever this is, and exit the game and come back, and those states are going to be marked as complete, and it can still enter all the other states too. So if for some reason I do things out of order, it should be handled pretty gracefully there. But anyway, hello, Kyle Macher, Kyle Amacher, Kyle, oh my gosh, I'm missing letters in there. I'll just say Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Currently going through your multiplayer course on Udemy and learning so much. Thanks for the great content. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're liking the courses, or at least the one course. So it's very much appreciated. Thank you, Kyle. Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. So there's a couple of other states that we need to do for this. We need to do the resurrection state, the boss state. Oh, there's the Emerson on the other side. Inquisition strength state, post power gain. Inquisition strength, pre power gain. Okay. All right. Let's just copy this. Async void enter state enemy strength. Enter state enemy strength. We'll just do await timer. If current state ID is not equal to state ID enemy strength. And then we need the context. Context equals get context. Oh, I don't have the run progress bar. Let's do, let me think. Okay, let me think about this. I think I want to create a new tutorial context object. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Did the Survivors one a while back, and it was awesome as well. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's just create a tutorial context here. Event state machine context. This is going to be a little bit weird, I guess. Well, maybe I shouldn't put this in here. Give me 1 second. I'll just put this alongside the event state machine context. It's going to be a little bit weird, I guess, but... It's kind of not organized very well, but that's okay. Public class tutorial context extends event state machine context. We're going to take this game map out of here and put that there. And then public required run progress bar. Okay. So then in my run manager, let's do private void or private tutorial context. Create tutorial context. Is there a way to like merge records in C#? I guess not. Well, that's okay. We'll just duplicate it. So that's the game map here. We're just going to get all these things here. Okay, so that's a little bit redundant, but whatever, it's fine. Those are all the properties are required in both of these classes. So if I add a new property to either one, it's going to give me an error. So that's safe enough, I suppose. And then this is going to be create tutorial context. This becomes tutorial context. And then oh, this context here. All right, so we should be good now. So the idea is that the tutorial is going to need more information than like the normal game needs. So I think I'll just make that clearer by putting all the rest of the data in the tutorial context. The tutorial context still uses all of this data here, but like nothing else in the game needs a reference to the game map or the run progress bar or anything like that. So I'll just make that explicit. Okay. Inquisition gains strength as you travel, which is logged here. Or tracked, maybe tracked here. So we'll leave the explanation for what happens when you hit 100. We'll leave that as another tutorial step. So we're going to do ordered states, state enemy strength, entry condition. Run map is idle and completed states contains state combat rewards. Context current node.tier is greater than or equal to 2. No, why did that put that there? Get rid of that. Completion condition. ctx.runManager.isMapIdle. We'll just do not isMapIdle. Alrighty then. So that should work. Let's just try to knock out a couple of states here. So let's handle the state now where we want to handle the state where the Inquisition actually gains strength. So maybe we do the same thing. Enter state Inquisition upgrade or something. State ID, public const string enemy. We'll call it enemy upgrade. Let's call it enemy upgrade. Enter state enemy upgrade. Okay, we'll try that, and then we'll add that to the ordered states here. Completed states contains enemy strength. Okay, that one should work. Cool. All right, should we test those now? So we got post alchemy, unlock cells, enemy strength. Okay, let's see what happens. Have you heard that meteor thing this week? It was in Ohio, right? Yes. Yes. That was a big deal here. That was a big deal here. Yep, it's okay. I guess Ohio is going to be ground zero for the meteor-driven apocalypse, which is fine. I mean, honestly, if a meteor is going to hit the Earth, I think I'd rather be in the direct impact zone. Because otherwise you're going to die because of the nuclear winter, right? So instant vaporization is preferable to me. So thank you. Anyway. So that's looking good. And then if I travel, that will go away. That's fair, yeah. Didn't know you were in Ohio as well. It happened about 10 minutes away when I was at work. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, it was loud. I mean, it was, yeah, people, all my friends and family were like, wow, there was a loud boom. I wonder, has anyone found it yet? I mean, maybe there's nothing left of it, but I'd be kind of curious to know like where exactly did it hit. Okay. So now we need to get to 100 strength here. Oh, that's not the right. Okay. I need a different condition for this. Hopefully this works. So if I do... Public bool is in upgrade enemy state equals is in upgrade enemy state. So we're going to try that instead. Our manager is in enemy upgrade state. All right, let's give that a shot. They demolished a building right next door to us at 3 a.m. a few weeks ago where I live. Everybody in the apartment was like, what the fuck? Yeah. It seems like that's something that you would give notice for if you're going to do that, but what do I know? So we'll set the strength to 99, and we'll see if this shows up now. That did not work. Okay. Is an upgraded enemy state, and completed states contains enemy strength, completion condition. Maybe I do not ctx.runManager.is in enemy upgrade state. Okay, let's try that. It's time for game dev once again. Hello, Jackie Daytona. Welcome back. Especially with all the talk of war going on, right? It's like, yeah, maybe you should let people know what's going on there. No one notified me of the meteor either, though, so that's all right. Commit curses like say this buyer has where a card is 4 blocks wide, so it can't be sold. Oh yeah, yeah. So I think I want to put an extra delay on that one. State enemy upgrade. Let's do await timer 2. I think that is working, but yeah, I mean, I think the problem with making cards like have a dynamic size is that the art's not going to fit. But I could do something like make the card wider and just put like a pattern on the side that's locked or whatever. I think that could be doable. The Groundquake is a nice FX. I'm going to try that as soon as I get Parallax FX working as intended. Hello, Dr. Ham. Welcome back. And thank you. Oh, I set the enemy strength to 100. That should be fine, actually. So that text is a little bit... Yeah, I guess that's fine. Maybe I'll add a little bit more of a delay onto it. My cards are hexagon, so I can relate to working outside the box, and card games are just squares, I was told, yeah. Glad to be back. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Okay. Set enemy strength 100. I'm so glad I added this debug menu, making it a lot easier to test these things for sure. All right, let's see what happens. So that's a little bit wonky, but I don't need to make it perfect now. I suppose I can move that over. Let's see. Plus new vector 2. Let's just do 64. That's fine. Okay. Let's give it one more shot. I think we're almost done with the tutorial. Oh, set enemy strength 100. Skip. That's not quite moved over far enough. Let's just do 96, I guess. All right, maybe one more test. So let's see. I did the Inquisition strength pre-power. I'm doing the post-power one. Probably will also want to do one for when the player defeats a boss. Okay, that looks better. So now what I can do is I can just walk and that will dismiss that. Okay, all right. Can turn ignore save file on as well. So hopefully we can get to the point where I need to explain the resurrection state. So I'm just kind of lifting these things from here. So let's do the resurrection state. Enter state resurrection. We can await timer 2. Context helper is resurrection container. If board equals null, return. You have been defeated. Fear not, you may resurrect by sacrificing cards to regain health. Okay. So that's probably fine. Let's do a resurrection state. Public const string resurrection. Connect to player resurrected. Okay. Ordered states.add new tutorial state. This is going to need to be resurrection event state machine. State player resurrected. state player died. So that's creating that resurrection event state machine. Emit player died. Probably will need on event resurrection finished. State player resurrected. Okay, we're probably just going to need to store a boolean in here, unfortunately. Private bool is resurrecting. Okay. One second. Dang animals, always making weird noises. Don't know if they're puking or what, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. Entry conditions, ctx.runManager.is resurrecting. Completion condition, not ctx.runManager.is resurrecting. Okay. So we enter the resurrection state. Very cool, very cool. I guess we can try this. I guess we can try this. Hello, M. I don't know how to say your name, unfortunately, but how you done project on async? I thought async is not available on Godot. Could you show example, please? No, async works. There are examples in the docs. But yeah, I mean, async works normally. Like you can do async operations in C#. Godot has async operations as well. Like Godot has the await keyword as well. So yeah, it all works. It all works. Now I gotta figure out if I can die at one of these. Yeah. Welcome back, Calm Cud, by the way. Good to see you. That did not work. Why didn't that work? Oh, probably because this is resurrecting is happening here. Player died. Am I connecting to that player died? Connect to player died, yeah. So I think I just need to move this up here. Let's see. Been popping in more frequently while I work on my own game. Awesome. Alrighty. Can I set my health? I cannot. It would be nice if I could set my health to 1 or something so I can die quickly. But we'll see. Well, I guess we'll just have to find a way to die. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, that seems to work just fine. I mean, it's a little bit weird, but I can work on the timings and whatnot later. So we've got the resurrection state now, the boss state. The boss state is going to be a little bit interesting, I think, but okay. Let's put the inventory back. All right, so let's do state ID, public const string, boss. This tutorial doesn't need to be perfect. I can always add more states later. I just want to get it to be enough states where anyone who's coming new to like a playtest is going to understand or be taught how to play the game. And I could definitely add more explanations later on. I just don't want to spend, I don't want to add 50 states to this thing, but I think this is a good exercise. So far, this is flexible enough where I could just show all these tutorial states with basically no issues. Add new tutorial state, state ID boss. Do I have is in boss fight? No, I don't. But I can easily expose that, so let's do that. Okay, all the way down here. Private async void. Enter state boss. I think I have something in here. Here we go. So this is going to need to change, I'm sure, but await timer. Confronted. Okay. Var enemy board is equal to context. Let's do var. Oh, I forgot to do if current state is not equal to state resurrection. So I need to do this little check because there could be a race condition. So while this timer is being awaited, if I were to change from the resurrection state somehow, I don't want this to continue on. So I have to do this check after each one, which is a little bit, it's boilerplate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Enemy board is equal to context dot. Do I have enemy board? Context dot player board. So we need to do this. Get board manager dot get opponent board of context dot player board. If enemy board is equal to null, we're just going to return. Okay. Enemy board. Cool. All right, let's see if we can get that. So I think this might be like the last state that I want to add, but then it needs to be saved in the save file. Probably will need to be saved in the options, maybe. Options file, which I do not have yet. Don't you just hate when you can't decide what you feel like working on? Yeah. Yeah, I go through moments like that quite frequently. Of course it doesn't work. Why would it have worked the first time? So emit boss entered. I am connected to the boss entered signal here. I wonder if the board, maybe the board is not available yet. So I am connecting to the boss entered here. On reevaluate deferred process states. Entry condition is in boss fight, completion condition not is in boss fight. Well, let's just put a breakpoint here and see what happens. Do you have any side projects while working on Alchemortis? I do not know. No. Alchemortis is my sole focus at the moment. I mean, it depends what you define as side project. Like, I just recently did something where I migrated my email list to a self-hosted solution. That was like a, 3 or 4 hour side project. Of course, whenever I make a YouTube video, which I'm currently in the process of doing actually, that's kind of like a side project too, but no other game projects. Okay, so the problem here is that I actually don't have the enemy board yet. So I think I know what I need to do here. I need to change this to state combat preparation. I need to do my weapons set. Oh wait, this needs to be not ctx.runmanager.is in combat preparation. Okay, that should work. I need to do my weapon set, but I feel like I should probably finish my unarmed moves before that. I'm designing my combat around directional input. Oh, very nice, yeah. I mean, it's hard to figure out, like... Sometimes I find it pretty hard to just figure out, like, what is the next best thing to work on. Like, when you have a bunch of big features that need to be built, sometimes it's a little bit hard to determine what is the next, like, best way to spend your time. I wonder why that's so far over. Let's change that. I think it works though. I'm just trying to get a stronghold. Oh, look at that. There's a stronghold right on top of the start. There we go. Okay, let's see what happens. Add item god mode. Okay, and then that goes away. Perfect. Okay, alrighty. So I think the tutorial stuff is all good. So now we need to save this. So add boss. So this needs to be persisted to the save file. Now the question is, where do I want to store this? Let's see, we've got the save model here, global statistics version. So I have these options which I'm not yet saving either. So the question is, do I want to save the tutorial completion state? So my idea is, I think it's generally good practice to save your options separate from your game save. And the reason is because when this game is eventually on Steam, I'm going to want to sync the the game files, right, and do the cloud saves. But if people are changing devices, like if they're going from their PC to their Steam Deck, the options, the saved settings should be local to that machine, because you're probably going to have a different set of settings for your Steam Deck versus your desktop, right? And those could be something simple like keybinds, right? Like you rebind some controller inputs on the Steam Deck and you maybe do some different keybinds for the PC. So anyway, I think it's good practice just to keep the options local to the device, but the game save needs to be synced. And the question is, should the tutorial state belong to that local option save, or should it belong to the synced save? I think the reason why I want to make it part of the local save is I am going to add an option to the options menu to like reset or disable tutorials. Hello, Ninja Link. Good morning to you. So I think I'm going to need an options save file if I want to do that. Okay. All right, let's do some stuff here. Let's do game. Let's just do game and we'll call it settings or something. Game settings, save file path. This is a string add. Save file path. This is going to be this is going to be user alcamortis.json. And then we're going to add an override here for debug. And this is going to be res logs alcamortis.json. Okay. And then we will do the options file path. So let's do options file path. This is a string add user options.json. Okay, we'll do an override for debug, add res logs options.json. Okay, so we save those. Save path, project settings. Let's see. String name, save file path, game/settings/save file path. This will be project settings, get setting, .toString. I think that's right. As string. Maybe I should just see if that works. Let me just see if that much works first. Delete. That did not work. Or at least it's not saving. Get setting with override. Applies any feature tag overrides. Right, okay, there we go. So it was saving to my user directory because I was not using the proper function for getting that project setting. So let me just clear that out really quick. Okay. Alrighty. So I do that, close. I should see Alchemortis JSON here. Very nice. Cool. So that is working now. All right. So that's good. Hello, Courier Games. Welcome back. So now I need an options model. Let me think about this. Options. So probably we'll want to do data initializer. This class is getting a little bit too big, but that's okay. Whatever. So version 1. Music volume. So let's do music volume. Okay. We'll just save a Boolean. Well, we do need is camera shake disabled. And then we also need a Boolean for is full screen. Okay, private static options model equals new. Private static read-only string name property options. Save options file path. Is that what it's called? Options file path. Yes. Okay. Static string options path. Okay. If not file access options, no options file found, starting with default options. Read, get as text, close, JSON convert, options model, JSON. Okay, that should work. And we can load options. And then what we're going to want to do in here I'm actually going to do an else here because we want to initialize the options with whatever model we loaded up. So now what I can do is I can do my options utils. We could do public static void from, or maybe apply options. Options model. Yeah, there we go. It works very nicely already. Very cool, very cool. So now what I can do in here is I can do options model dot apply options. Options utils dot apply options. Game debug. Is mute SFX enabled? I wonder if this is going to clash. Let's see. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out. Does your T-pose have aura? People should replace the word aura with the word brown. All right, so we've got the options model here is full screen. So we're going to want to store is tutorial enabled. Bool is tutorial enabled. And then we also want to do JSON property is tutorial completed states, private hash set string, tutorial completed states. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Always good to see you with the message yummers. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing? And the question is, how do I get this? How do I get these things out of this class into the save? That's a good question, but we'll worry about that in a second. I should just see what this does. Let's see. Okay, so it is overriding the music and SFX here when I have the music and SFX disabled, so that's unfortunate. Maybe I should do this in enter tree instead. Okay, that works now. Cool. All right. Afternoon all, just been looking into encryption on export for Godot projects. Is the default encryption method suitable, do you think? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Godot encryption. How do you judge when a class is too big, like number of lines or just feeling? Yeah, I mean, the size of the class is not a problem in and of itself. A file is getting too big when it's doing too many things. And so even if that means that it's only 200 lines, if it's doing 3 different things that could easily be split out into different logical chunks, then that's appropriate to do. But sometimes you're going to have classes that are 500, 600 lines where it's like, yeah, the class is just complex. Like it has basically one responsibility, but handling that responsibility requires a lot of methods, for example, you know what I mean? So I think the size of the class is a good heuristic to kind of cue you into maybe investigating whether it should be broken up, but I don't think it's necessary to break up classes simply because they're big. Classes should be broken up when they're doing too many things, when they have too many responsibilities. So that's my opinion on it anyway. Doing fine. Just college stuff. I hate Unity in general, but it's a must. I can't evade, really. Oh, gotcha. I don't think a class can be too big. A class can be overextended in the sense that if a class is doing too many things instead of an intended goal, you probably need to refactor. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. So, you know, like when a class is big, like I said, that can be a heuristic for investigating whether there's an opportunity to split out some responsibilities. But I don't think you should say, oh, this class is 600 lines, that means I must break it up, right? Because you have to be careful about that too, because making your code too granular, focusing too much on modularity can have the opposite of the intended effect, which is actually making your code harder to navigate and to understand, you know? So it's a balance. It's a balance for sure. Functions, on the other hand, those can be too long. Yes, true. Are you accepting games for code review? I just made a small game for a jam, and I think if it's your video as well, yeah, you can certainly submit it. I don't know when I'm going to get back to doing code review videos because I've been spending all my time on Alka Mortis, but you know, I may get to that point again, but you can certainly submit it. It doesn't hurt. Okay, so we've got the options model. So now this needs to be saved. I guess I'll just do this. I don't know. We'll see if that works. All right, I guess we'll see what happens here. So I have the saving now working. Maybe I should do the options model. We'll just keep that up to date, I guess. Okay, so now we gotta fix that. Let's see, options, utils. So we're gonna need to save these. I think what I need to do here, public. Create a new hash set from that. Public static void set tutorial completed states. Let's just do save tutorial completed states. Hash set string completed states union with that data initializer.save options. So it's a little bit wonky, but that's all right. So then in my tutorial guide, what I need to do is I need to save that. So whenever a state is completed, options utils, save tutorial completed states, but on load, I need to set the completed states to whatever's stored in the options. So we do completed states is equal to options utils.tutorial completed states. This, I guess, is read only, so we'll do that. Okay. I guess we'll just see if that works. Hello, Eto, welcome back. Good to see you. I'm assuming my game for code review and have you reading like 10 billion lines. There you go. Hey, X Jokes, thanks for the 100 bits. Very much appreciate that. Good morning to you as well. How's it going today? Going pretty good. I can't complain. What do you use for to-do list and backlogs? It's Obsidian, the note-taking app Obsidian, with the Kanban community plugin. So I should see an options thing in here now. Music volume, SVX volume, is camera shake disabled full screen, tutorial completed states movement. So now when I reload the game, I shouldn't see that initial state anymore. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So that's working pretty good. Now I just need to save the rest of the options and also handle the tutorial state. But I think that's good. I think that's good. So that's working. I also need to make it ignore save file. Wonder if I should do that in here. Maybe I should change where ignore save file is done, but I'll just do it for here for now. If game debug.is ignore save file enabled, return. Oh, maybe we'll just do options, utils that apply options there. If game debug is ignore save file enabled. We'll just return there. So we're not going to load anything. Debug, ignore save files not on. Okay. So we need to update initial work on options saving. So now I need to actually go to my options menu and I need to do some logic here. So I'm going to need to add a tutorial button in here, but also whenever I click the done button, we're going to need to, maybe we'll call this save instead. Maybe not. Actually, maybe we'll just save it. Maybe we'll just save it when the options change. Although I do want to handle the special case of the tutorial. I want to clear. If you turn off the tutorial, then obviously we're not going to show anything tutorial related. But if I turn on the tutorial again, I want to clear the tutorial completed states. So basically, if the tutorial enabled is going from false to true, it should reset the states, I think. Or maybe I could just reset the states whenever it's toggled. But the thing I want to handle, though, is like if you accidentally press it, I don't want it to reset everything. I don't know. We're going to have to think about that. But anyway, we'll figure it out. You're welcome, X-Jokes. Do you write documentation about the project or only in the to-do in Obsidian? Only the to-do. I don't do any documentation for the game, really. Hello, Artur. I don't know how to read that, but I see emojis and handshake, so there you go. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'll be right back in just 3 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back, we will figure out what's going on with the options. So, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Encrypt your game such that no one can look at your source code. That's a fool's errand. Yeah, I understand both sides of it. I mean, Godot wouldn't support encryption unless there was a valid reason to do that. You know, so it's hard to say each individual, need of a project. So, it's up to the developer, but I would say that, yeah, like encrypting your game contents is probably more trouble than it's worth, because I don't think there's much upside, especially if you're just making like small games as a solo developer or whatever. Because ultimately anything that ends up on the client side is going to be insecure anyway. So somebody's going to be able to decrypt it because they have to be able to decrypt it, right? It's like, in order to run the game, it has to be decrypted. So that means that the decryption is happening on the client side, which means that somebody could figure out how to do that apart from doing it during runtime. So, there are considerations to be made, but I'm sure there are cases where like it's a perfectly valid thing to do to encrypt the save files, if only just to add a layer of obfuscation to prevent people from stealing assets or whatever. But ultimately, it's not a bulletproof solution. Consider Slay Spire 2, which just released, people have been able to rip that game apart. Yeah. I just want to make a good asset system, so I don't need encryption. Okay, so let's take a look at these options menu. Let's see. I mean, maybe I could add a save. Maybe I'll just add a cancel button here. So we'll let people just like cancel their changes. That unfortunately makes this a little bit wider. That's okay. I mean, this options menu needs to be redone anyway, but dog is sniffing around. It's all right. Let's do HBox contain. I guess, I don't know. Whatever. This options menu is going to need to change. Layout, container sizing. Man, I don't know what to do. Whatever, we'll just keep it like this. Oops. Save. Cancel. Save button. Button, cancel button. Alrighty. So let's do this. Var model is equal to options utils.toModel. Then we'll just do model.music volume, model.sfx volume, update display. We can just do the toModel again, it's fine. Var model is equal to options toModel, model blah blah blah. Actually, maybe I should, actually, here's what I'll do. I should create private options model, new options model. And we're going to say new options model is equal to model, like so. And then all of these are going to change to new options model. New options model. Oh, but this is going to need to change. These are actually changing the bus volumes as well. Actually, here's what I'll do. Let's rename this again. Old options model. And we can just reference the options utils directly here. That's fine. On save pressed, we're going to do data initializer, save options, on escaped. We will do options utils dot apply options old options model dismiss. We need private void on cancel pressed. There we go. So I'll need to connect to that. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to want to do is, let's do this. On save pressed. Well, I don't even have the tutorial enabled stuff. Let's just duplicate this. Oh gosh, this whole menu needs to be redone. Goodness gracious. Let's do tutorial here. Tutorials. Rename. Tutorial toggle button. Update display. We need a tutorial toggle button. Options menus are so freaking annoying. Okay. I wonder if I can use... Can I use a record for this? Because that would be much nicer. Because then when I do on save press, I can say if old options model dot is tutorial enabled, if not, and options utils is tutorial enabled. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to say var model. Well, let's just do this. Var model is equal to new. No, options utils dot to model with tutorial completed states equals empty. And then we could do data, we could do options, utils that apply options model. I suppose that's fine. I don't know, it's a little bit wonky, but that's fine. Tutorial toggle button dot pressed plus equals on tutorial toggle button pressed. All right, let's just see what happens, I guess. So we go here, options, full screen on, save, options, full screen off, cancel, it goes back. Oh, that's not updating. That screen shake toggle button needs to be changed. But I should be able to turn the SFX up, cancel, go back to options, the SFX is back, tutorials off, save, options, tutorials are off, on, save, okay. Options, full screen off, save, resume. I should see that the tutorial now will show me the first hint. There we go. And if I do, oh, I need to turn off. So if I turn off tutorials, that needs to be dismissed. Oops. Let's see. So let's complete this one. That should be saved now in the options file. Yeah, tutorial completed states movement. So now if I go here, options, tutorials off, save, options, tutorials on, save. It erases that tutorial completed states. Very cool. All right, I think that's basically good. And then we've got the full screen toggle button. This needs to be a custom button. Oops. Set custom text there. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Is that it? Did I implement the save file for the options menu? I think I did. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. I'm going to redo that options menu anyway, but yeah, that seems fine to me. Cool. All right, so what's the next thing that I need to do? I was going to make a change to the data initializer. So I want to do if load save, if ignore save file enabled, return, and then save here, return, and then I can just handle this at the root, so I don't need to do all these checks everywhere else, I don't think. If game debug is generate test map enabled, data initializer has saved run, current run, save model. Yeah, actually, I can just do this. if data initializer has saved run. And then we can just, yeah, we don't need to put these conditionals in here anymore because that's just going to ultimately not be saved when it gets here because of that ignore save file. So that makes more sense to me. So let me just test this out now. Just go ahead and test this. I'll move here. Oh, I have screen shake off, I guess. Screen shake is off. Okay, cool. That's all saved. So now if I go to project settings, debug, ignore save file, I should get in a brand new thing and my screen shake should be re-enabled here. Yeah. We go to options, screen shake is on. Cool. And then the tutorials, of course, but that's good. Alrighty. And I can turn this back off. And if I go back, it should reload my save and all my options. There we go. Options, screen shake off. Cool, cool, cool. There was one other thing that I was going to do, and now I'm forgetting. Oh, yeah. So now we need to handle whether the tutorial actually gets added to the tree or not. So the tutorial is just always included in the run manager. Streamline, debug, ignore save file. So when we toggle the tutorials on or off, I need to actually change what's happening in the run manager here. So let's get rid of the tutorial guide here to start. We have this resource preloader. Let's put the tutorial guide in there. So we've got setup seeded run, setup tutorial. I may need, well, let me think. I need to determine if the tutorial is actually completed or not. Now what I could do is I could just log a flag in the options menu that says tutorial completed. But the problem is, like, what happens if I add new tutorials? I guess it would be fine. I was thinking if I add new tutorials to the game when you have an existing save. But I'm assuming that by the time that happens, if somebody has already gone through the tutorial, they probably have already encountered everything that I would want to explain anyway. So maybe it's fine to just log a flag in the options model. So let's do JSON property is tutorial completed. Is tutorial completed? Nope, that's not right. Get set. Okay. So now if I go to my tutorial guide, let's just do bool. Okay, so I want to do this now. ordered states dot all x completed states contains x.id. Ah, son of a biscuit. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Is tutorial completed? Tutorial guide is equals resource preloader, instance scene or null, instantiate scene or null, tutorial guide, add child tutorial guide. I probably also want to, inside of this ready method here, just kick off a process states. Okay, so now we need to detect when the tutorial state has changed. Unfortunately, I probably need to use a C# event for this. Which is fine. I mean, we could do public static event tutorial state changed. And we need to go back to the options menu as well. And we're going to need to do this. Hello, Iron Genesis. Welcome back. Maybe I'll just do this instead. This is going to kind of kick off a double save, though, so that's kind of unfortunate. Let's just do this as a separate step. Let's just do set tutorial completed states. And wherever this is called, we'll just do data initializer save options. We could do public static void say set and save tutorial completed states. Yeah, that'll work. And then in my options utils here, or no, my options menu, I can just do set tutorial completed states there. So the whole point of that is I need to be able to invoke this tutorial state change here. So that's good. And then in my run manager, what I can do is I could do public override void enter tree options utils.tutorial state change plus equals on tutorial options state changed. And then public override void exit tree. We need to unsubscribe from that. Or options utils is tutorial completed. Existing tutorial guide is equal to this.get first node of type tutorial guide. Tutorial guide.queueFree. Okay. We'll just add a guard in here as well. If existing tutorial guide is equal to null and that. So we don't want to add two instances of the tutorial. So is that right? So we're going to get the existing tutorial guide. If we don't have the tutorial enabled or we've already completed the tutorial, we're going to queue free that. Now I think there's a problem here. I think on the last tutorial step, it's just going to instantly pop out that skull guy. So maybe I might need to handle that. Why is this so difficult? Everything's always so difficult. Well, whatever. Let's just try this out. Oh, I no longer have this tutorial guide here. I'm going to need to put that when I'm creating it here. All right, so let's see what happens. So I'm going to delete my options file. Delete my options file, go back into the game. I should see this guy here if I go to options, tutorials off, save, resume. He did not disappear. Oh, that's nice. That's very cool. That's very cool. Let's put a breakpoint down and see. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is not the most fun part of game dev, let me tell you what. I just want it to be done. So it's creating the tutorial guide there. If I go to options, tutorials off, save. Oh, that didn't fire. Interesting. Oh, it's not firing a state update. So the reason why that's not working is it's not firing a state update. I'm just going to do something easy here. This is not the greatest thing in the world to do, but... What? I can't do that? I guess I can't do that. Whatever. We're gonna make it work. However sloppy it's gonna be, this is alright. Oh, I gotta delete my options file again. Hello, Ubiself. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. We're doing some riveting options menu stuff. Very cool, very cool. Okay, he has been banished. And if I go back to options, tutorials on, save, resume. Hey, okay, all right. So now he's toggling properly. So the last thing that I want to do here then is we are just going to store a reference to that tutorial guide. So we're going to say this.getTree.create timer 1.5f false dot timeout plus equals tutorial guide queue free. Actually, maybe I'll do this in the I'll just do this. Okay, tutorial guide dot destroy if tutorial guide is equal to null, tutorial guide equals this. Okay, so now, I mean, the reason I did that is because now I can have him do the pop out. Can have him do the pop out so he disappears very naturally, and then queue free after that. Now I probably also want to have some kind of flag in here. Private bool is destroying. Is destroying equals true. Process states if get context equals null or is destroying. Okay, all right. Let's just see what that does. Can I know what you're building? What type of game? It's C#. Yeah, it's C#, and it's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can use alchemy to create your own builds and synergies. So there is a Steam page for the game. If you're interested in that, you can check it out below. Let me just make sure that all of this is working still. Okay, close this, go back in. Okay, so now let me do a quick test. I want to see what happens if I complete all the states. So if I close the game here. I need to save the completed state. So what could happen here is I could end up in a situation where if I get rid of all these states here, there's going to be no more tutorial states to show, but I think it's still going to create that tutorial object because it's... So if I go to my remote main run manager, the tutorials guide is still there, even though all the tutorials are completed. So I'll just do a check in here. I'll just do private void check all states completed. So we're going to run that on the ready as well. So if there just happens to be a case where that flag wasn't set and I happen to remove a state or whatever, it's just going to do that check immediately. So now what I should see when I run the game is that it should be marked as completed. And it will also free that. So if I go here, is tutorial completed true? Yes. Okay, cool. Now I probably also want to add another check in here. If not options utils.is tutorial completed and... Oh wait, no, that's fine. I don't need that check there. So now it shouldn't even do that anymore. Like it should just skip loading. It shouldn't even put the tutorial guide there to begin with. Yeah, there's no tutorial guide here now. Cool. So I just want to be instantiating that node if it doesn't need to be there. And so I can put this back now. Oh gosh, why is it so difficult? Okay, dynamically hide and show tutorial guide based on tutorial state. Okay, all right, we're good. Oh, it's Alchemortis. I have it on my wish list. Yeah, awesome. So wait, did you how did you find Alchemortis? Were you watching my channel on YouTube, or did you just find it on Steam one day? All right, I'm going to call the tutorial done. I'm going to add another card here that's like save options to file. I'm going to mark that as done as well, just so I'm tracking that I did that. Alrighty, so we've got a couple of other things to do here. I need to test this one, giant mushroom spore. Let's go ahead and test that really quick. On YouTube, I'll watch some of your Godot videos. Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you for the wish list. I appreciate that. Turning off the tutorials. Go away. Add item giant mushroom spore. Let's just absorb this. Deal 4 damage. Okay, so I'm just testing this to make sure that's going to be saved. So now if I close the game and go back in, this should still have the deal 4 damage. Yeah, perfect. So saving the ability states is a little bit tricky, but we're good. We got it. So that one can be marked as done. Grow board highlight shader is wrong. Let's test that. Let's turn on ignore save file. Event type grow board is 5. Generate test map. I think it's just as simple as changing this. Is my board cell unlocks must be wrong too. Let's see. Yeah, that is wrong. Okay. And then the grow board should be correct now too. Okay, perfect. We're just crushing these bugs. Okay, so I've got a couple of other things in my in progress list. I did do some more boss soul art. I could show you that really quick. Add item boss soul medium. So there's the boss soul medium. It looks a little bit wispy. I think it looks all right. So I might use that style for something else, but there's the art for that anyway. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just some like finalization stuff, tweak stuff. So we're very close indeed. So again, for context, I have a goal for by the end of the week to have like a build that is very playable with basically everything in the in progress here done and everything in the to do done. So yeah, that's what I'm working towards. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say beyond that. But anyway, that's going to be it for the stream for today, or for now anyway. I might stream later. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. If you're interested, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. It's available. The link is in the description below. I would definitely appreciate that. The other ways you could support me are also linked below. I've got the Udemy courses, the Patreon. You can join the Discord if you want to come and hang out. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. It's very much appreciated. And yeah, keep an eye on the Discord for the next time I go live. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.